All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. Week 8 is here. Real quick, subscribe to the podcast here on Spotify and download this episode. It helps out more than you know. Get at us on YouTube. You can see us on the video camera and see a more unedited version of us on the podcast. You can go to the YouTube channel at Real Talk Sports Pod, subscribe to the channel, and give this video a like. Like I said, it helps out more than you know. Every Monday night football and Thursday night football matchup, we have a contest where you can go and potentially win a $50 Visa gift card. Head over to Instagram at Real Talk Sports Pod to see what these contests entail. You have a chance to win a $50 Visa gift card, taking money from yours truly. You can also catch us on the other socials on Twitter and TikTok. Welcoming back to the podcast is Trevor Chanel. Trevor, how's it going, buddy?
It's going, baby. It's going. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, man, we're going to talk some sports. We're going to talk some football. Let's just jump right into last week. We'll talk about our best bets. I went 3-3, putting my record to 17-14. You, Trevor, not going to lie, man, not one of your best weeks. Week 6, you had 5-2. This week, you got 2-4, putting you 15-14-1. Hey, it happens to us, man. And then Nico was 2-2, pushing him to 16-11 on the season against the spread and the point totals. One thing about my bets, and I did cash a Rams. Excuse me, hold on. My dog is barking. And this is why you see us on the unedited version on YouTube. I'm going to pop that out on the Spotify. But, yeah, my dog's a little crazy today. Yeah, anyways, I cashed a Rams live bet -6.5 when they're down by 10 against the Lions. Doesn't count as a best bet for me, so it doesn't go against my record, but I was pretty thrilled about that. The Bucks over, you and I both had that. We stamped it on there. Did not hit. It should have, though. The Bucks should not have gone for that fourth down to score a touchdown. They didn't get it. They shouldn't have gone for it. We were up 38-3 or something like that. They were just trying to rub it in their faces. I was pretty disappointed about that for the over. But, yeah, Trevor, how are you feeling about your bets last week?
I completely blame that on the Bears for that one in particular. If you can't put more than 3 points traveling all the way down to Florida, you lose by 35. I know you're playing the best team in the league. It's just defending Super Bowl champs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But obviously we didn't cash out on that. Another one that screwed me, Ravens -6.5. They got absolutely obliterated, which I'm happy about. I'm glad that they lost, but I thought that was going to be a best bet for sure. Patriots -7 over the Jets. That's a no-brainer. I told you, take it to the bank. Notarized.
Yeah, man.
The Broncos Browns over 41.5. I had 2. And I think part of the reason it wasn't too high scoring was obviously because of the injuries on the Brown side. But hey, we got a new week ahead of us. I got some good best bets here. Excited to share with the YouTube, the Spotify, and everyone. And kind of, come back on top and keep building that record up.
Yeah, man, absolutely. New week, like you said. I'm feeling this week too. I am feeling this week. I love the board this week, man. I feel like Nico's got, I know he's not here right now, but I got a lot of stuff for him. He's quite active on the board this week. But we'll get into that. Let's share some winners and losers. I'll start. Winner right here is Mike Vrabel, Tennessee Titans head coach. I mean, you go and you beat the Bills, one of the top teams in the NFL. No one expected that. And then they come in the following week at home and destroy the Kansas City Chiefs. I know the Chiefs aren't exactly what, they used to be right now, but it's still the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs have not gotten beat that bad since the Super Bowl against the Bucks. So Mike Vrabel specifically as my winner, Titans included. But yeah, man, they looked good.
Okay. Yeah, I like that one. I would say my winner here would be Ja'Marr Chase and the Bengals. Okay. Ja'Marr Chase and the Bengals coming in, dominating the 5-1 Ravens. That's definitely a win in my book. Ja'Marr Chase just making a case for a freaking crazy rookie year. Obviously going to win Rookie of the Year. I don't think anyone else is in contention, but he's having better rookie years than Odell Beckham, Anquan Bolden, Randy Moss. I mean, in my opinion, this is probably the best rookie shot that we've seen from a wide receiver. So I'm hoping it continues. Hopefully nothing tragic happens. Hopefully there's no regression, anything like that. But the Bengals are a winner for me this week. And then another one, Dearness Johnson.
Yeah.
coming in out of nowhere, 146 yards. Very happy about that. So proud of that guy. He's a winner in my book as well.
We got Tucker here on the live on Instagram. I'm live on Instagram right now. He said Tom Brady broke the Chiefs. I agree, man. Like, I mean, that was it. I mean, yeah, he took all of the will out of the Chiefs and that offensive line. Obviously the Bucs defense took the will out of them, but yeah, I mean, Tom Brady broke the Chiefs, says Tucker. I agree with you, Tuck. Let's go into a loser real quick, and I completely agree with you on Bengals. They played phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so a loser for me, I mean, just inverse of what I said, the Chiefs are going to be my loser. You got your brakes blown off in that game by the Titans. I know I expected that game to go over just because of those two offenses, and they just couldn't even get anything going. And yeah, so Chiefs are going to be losers there. They got to figure something out. Not sure if they will, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Losers in my book, the Bears. Sorry about it, Nico. The
Bears.
Loser of the week. Coach Nagy's got to go. I mean, you come down to Florida, you lose by 35. Just absolutely terrible showing. The Bears are the biggest loser of the week, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Justin Fields did not look good, but on the other side of it, the Bucs defense looks phenomenal. Richard Sherman was coaching while he's out with the hamstring injury, which was really cool to see. And he did a great job too, man. The scary thing about the Bucs, I know they've had their issues with injuries in the secondary, but they're not even healthy yet, and they're looking that good, man. You give it till the playoffs and later in the season, the Bucs are the best team in the NFL. I stand by that. I've been saying the Cardinals are. After seeing this week, the Bucs are just still that team, and they're going to continue to do that. Let's go ahead and move on. Week 8 is here. Let's go into our best bets. We all love the board apparently this week, so I hope we can keep that going. And we're starting this week. It is Wednesday, the 27th, and we are going to give you another Thursday Night Football matchup here. And this is a good one, man. The Packers are going into Arizona to take on Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. The Cardinals are minus 275 on the money line. 6.5 is the spread, and the over-under is 50. Trevor, first off, Davante Adams and Allen Lazard are out with COVID, which is a big hit to the Packers for this game. This is a big game for them to win. How are you feeling about this matchup?
So I think it's going to be one of the better games of the year, right? You got the 6-1 Packers going into the 7-0 Cardinals. Both very high-scoring offenses, both great teams. But you're right, Davante Adams and Lazard are out, which means WR1 is going to be Randall Cobb, and then you have Tanyan. I don't know if that's going to be enough to beat the Cardinals.
And Marquez Valdes-Scantling too, but
okay.
No Davante Adams, right? So
yeah, no Davante Adams, no Lazard. Those are your two go-to guys. If they can rely heavy on Aaron Jones and get Randall Cobb involved, then there might be some spark, but I don't think it's going to be enough to beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals are looking great. Now, I will say with the over, with the total point line, that I'm not sure I want to take the over, mainly because they're both two high-scoring offenses.
Mm-hmm.
They're both also top 10 statistical defenses. So I think they're going to limit each other on each side, and I'm really not sure what I want to do there, but I'm going to take the Cardinals on this one. I think it's going to be close. I'm not sure it's going to be 6.5. I would stay away from it if it were me betting on this game. But I'm so excited to watch it. I got the Cardinals in this one. What about you?
Yeah, man. So I'll start with Nico's best bet here. Nico has as a best bet Cardinals -6. He did advise that he would prefer to have it as -6. So if it's at -6.5 now, he would buy the point, which is his best bet. So his best bet is -6. He likes to buy the point because he said he feels like this game could go into overtime. And if that happens and the Cardinals win, they score a touchdown in overtime. I don't know. You don't know, but he likes that. I don't care about the half point. I still think the Cardinals win by a touchdown at least. And specifically because Davante Adams is out. I know you still got Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers, but the Cardinals are a deadly, deadly team. So I absolutely love Cardinals -6.5 here. That is one of my best bets as well. But yeah, man, we're all on the Cardinals. You're not so sure about the spread, so we won't put that in the parlay this week. But yeah, nevertheless, that is a best bet for Nico and I.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and move on. We have the Rams heading into Texas to take on the Houston Texans. The Texans are plus 575 at home. The spread is 14 and the over-under is 47.5. Texans had to face the Cardinals last week. Now they got to face the Rams. It's not getting any easier for them. But tell me what you think, if you got any bets or anything like that.
I don't have too much to say about it. I mean, I don't think the Texans are going to do very well this year, especially with Tyrod Taylor still out. I mean, like I said, there's not much to say here. I got the Rams. Obviously, I think they might cover. I think they might do. I think what is it, 14 minus 14?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put a best bet. I hate putting double-digit spreads on my best bets. But with this one, dude, I don't know, because the Texans are tragic.
Yeah, they are.
So I kind of want to add it to my best bets. I kind of don't. I'll figure it out by the end of this podcast. But I got the Rams here, and it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'm absolutely leaning Rams minus 14. It's not going to be a best bet for me. Just the fact that the Lions were able to cover makes me believe that the Texans could too. Obviously, the Lions are a better team. But yeah, 14 is too high of a, I do have a pretty high point total as a best bet in another game. But nevertheless, I just don't know if the Rams can cover 100%. So I'm only going to lean that way. I would lean over here. We have a viewer on the live saying hammer the under, and I don't blame you. Maybe they're talking about a different game. But I don't blame you for hammering the under, but I do like the over here just based off. I think the Rams are going to obliterate that Houston defense.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So here's another good game, a divisional game. We have the Steelers going into Cleveland to take on the injured Browns. The Browns are minus 180 on the money line, minus 3.5 on the spread, and the over-under is a low 42. How are you feeling?
Yeah, so this is a game where the Browns are favored, obviously, by 3.5. Didn't see much spark from them last week. Obviously, low scoring game. I'm gonna pick the Steelers here, and I'm gonna have that as a best bet for myself.
Wow,
plus 3.5 against the Browns. I just think that the only thing that's holding me back a little bit is that the Browns have a top 3 rushing defense. So if they can hold Najee Harris down, that might be a game changer there. But I think Ben Roethlisberger can come in, Deontay Johnson. I don't think the Browns are. I think they need their squad back before I can kind of be confident in choosing them in particular games. So I'm gonna pick the Steelers here. It's the best bet. Steelers plus 3.5 at Browns.
Yeah, man. I don't blame you for taking that based off the fact that the Browns are injured and the Steelers have a good defense. I mean, they do, and you never know. I know Ben Roethlisberger. He has his games. He has his moments. I'm gonna lean Browns minus 3.5 here. It's not a best bet for me. I just think the Browns are the better team, and you never know what you're gonna get out of Ben Roethlisberger. I think it being a home game for the Browns puts it in their favor. So I do lean the Browns here. I'm probably going to go under 42 also. I know it's a low point total, but they got 2 good defenses, man. I don't know if the Browns are going to do a whole lot with Case Keenum in there. I know he's a good backup, but, the Browns are injured, man, and that's why I don't blame you for taking the Steelers there.
Well, I mean, you also got to remember back when the Steelers beat Buffalo in Buffalo. I think it was first. So I don't think the environment's gonna hurt them too much. So in Real Talk Sports wagering, dude, I got the Steelers. Let's go upset city going in here.
Yeah, man. Hey, and I don't blame you, but yeah, I'm leaning Browns minus 3. Let me see if Nico has a best bet there. I'm sorry. Yeah, he does. Nico does have a best bet here, and that is also Steelers plus 3.5. So he has that as well as you. I don't blame you guys, but I'm still going to take the Browns here. I think they get it done. Okay. Let's move on. Right. We have the Eagles going into Detroit to take on the winless Lions. Lions are plus 160 at home, plus 3.5 on the spread, and the over-under is set at 48. How you feeling, buddy?
So I love doing this. I already did it once this year. I picked the Jags to upset Miami, get their first win of the year. I think this is the game. The Lions take their first victory of the year. I think they held their own a little bit with the Rams for a certain amount of time. I know that was kind of like a rivalry, if you will. It wasn't a rivalry, but under the circumstances, I thought.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So that might have kind of swayed the game a little bit. But I think the Lions are going to get their first win over a scrambled Eagles right now, because
Yeah.
Kind of all over the place. You never know what's going to happen with them. Let me Jared Goff. Let me see Jared Goff upset Jalen Hurts. I got Jalen Hurts in fantasy, so I hope he, still has 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, whatever it is. But Goff getting their first victory of the year in Detroit, write it in stone. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. So you, Nico, and I are all on the same page here. It's not a best bet for me. Hey, let me. So I'm going to, and if you're on YouTube, you're going to see me do this. I'm going to go close my door here. Girlfriend just got home. Dogs are barking. I'm going to delete that on Spotify. I will be right back, and I'll give you my best bet or not best bet, but bet for this game. All right, and excuse me for that. And like I said, guys, if you're on YouTube, you're going to see me do that. Like I said, you're going to see a more unedited version of us on the podcast. This is my life. I got 2 crazy dogs. But yeah, I'll edit that out for the Spotify viewers. Yeah, so my bet here is actually the Lions money line. I like the extra juice there, plus 160. It's not going to be a best bet for me because when we did have the Lions on the on the Real Talk Sports Parlay, I think it was week 4, they let us down. But Nico's best bet here as well is the Lions plus 3.5. He loves that. He told me, he sent me a text. He said he loves plus 3.5. He liked it at plus 3, loves it even more at plus 3.5. I don't think it's parlay worthy just because it's the Lions, but we are all on the same page there, which I do like. I do sense an upset for the Lions here. I think they get the first win, man. And one thing I will say is, man, Dan Campbell, the Lions got a good one in Dan Campbell. He's a great coach. He's got a lot of heart. I know we've said this in the past, but they really do have a great guy leading that team there. And I expect, big things to come in the next 5 years or so for the Lions.
Yeah. I hope Goff can pull it off. I'm rooting for the guy. He kind of got the short end of the stick in that trade with Stafford. So, I need things to pick up for him. I like the guy. I like Goff. Hopefully he gets this win over the Eagles this week.
I agree, buddy. So let's move on. We have the San Francisco 49ers heading into Chicago, take on the Bears. The Bears are hoping to bounce back after getting obliterated by the Buccaneers. And man, I think that's why Nico's not on the podcast for a second week in a row. He's dodging us because he doesn't want to take the heat. So the Bears are plus 175 on the money line, plus 4 on the spread. And the over-under is set at a low 39.5. Bears are home dogs. How do you feel?
Well, we all called it last week. The Colts upset the 49ers. I think we're pretty sure all 3 of us called that. Did we not? That was a good call.
Yeah, we did.
I just can't possibly bet on the bets on the Bears after watching them live in person get destroyed by the Buccaneers. I think they're all over the place. Their coach sucks. They need to get rid of Nagy ASAP. Everyone's calling for it. I don't know when it's going to happen. It's got to happen soon. 49ers are going to take this. I don't have much else to say about it. It's just a fact.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to share you one of Nico's best bets, and this is a teaser. It's going to be the first part of one of his teasers, and he is doing a 6-point teaser, teasing the Bears up to plus 10. That is going to be the first leg of that teaser. He has 2 teasers this week, actually. And teasers are the move, man. I love teasers. But yeah, so he has Bears plus 10 as that first part of the teaser. The way I'm leaning 49ers minus 4 in this one. I don't see the Bears winning this game. I know it's a home game, but Justin Fields, I don't know. He might have had some confidence taken from him. I guess we'll see this coming week. But yeah, man, I don't know what else to say about it besides that the 49ers are the better team. Nagy's not doing a great job. Allen Robinson misused again in another game. He should have obliterated that Tampa secondary, even though they played great.
I wouldn't say that. I don't think anyone's obliterating the Tampa secondary. I don't care who's hurt, who's in, who's not. But
I mean, obliterating the secondary. I know I don't want to argue about the Bucs, but like Cooper Kupp obliterated the secondary. I know he's not. I know the Rams are a different team.
Just on to the next one, buddy. On to the next one.
All right, let's move on. We have the Panthers going into Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Big NFC South game. We have minus 150 on the spread or on the money line for the Falcons, -3 on the money or spread, excuse me, and over under is set at 45.5. How do you feel about this game?
Well, I mean, the Falcons come back. They beat the Dolphins last week. That's not that impressive. Calvin Ridley's back. Hopefully he puts on another performance. Need him in fantasy. The Panthers are kind of crumbling, but looks like they had a bye week last week. I think they might come back and maybe Sam Darnold could flip the switch. I don't know. They also have a really good defense. I would stay away from it, but it is a good in-conference matchup. I got the Panthers here making their return and seeing what they can accomplish. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so Nico, he did have a best bet here. He no longer has one, just to make that clear. He was taking the Panthers +3. He now is not taking Panthers +3 as a best bet. He does like it at +3.5. He likes the extra 0.5. But like I said, no longer a best bet for him. But I guess he's leaning Panthers -3. My best bet here is going to be Falcons -3. I absolutely love it. The Panthers are fraudulent, as you know, as everyone has obviously seen. They started 3-0. They're now on a 4-game losing streak. Sam Darnold is trash, bro. He's trash. And I said it on when he was on the Jets. He is a good quarterback in a bad system. And then he came into Carolina, wins the first 3 games. I was like, I told y'all so. I told you that he was a great quarterback in a bad system. All he needed was a new city. And it's just evident that he is not that great of a quarterback. He's throwing interceptions. He's not doing well in fantasy. The Panthers are losing. And so I like the Falcons to win this one here at home. I absolutely love them at -3.
Dude, I don't think he's utilizing his receiver core as much as he should. Robbie Anderson is a really, really good wide receiver, and he proved so last year. He's done absolutely nothing this year. Absolutely. Yeah. He needs to utilize him a little bit more. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I don't have much to say about it. I got the Panthers in this one. Hopefully they can make a little comeback victory here. But I also have Calvin Ridley, Cordero Patterson on the Falcons, so I want them to do really well. So I want the Falcons to win, but I think the Panthers are going to win.
All right, you're leaning Panthers. Yeah, one thing I will say about Robbie Anderson, man, I genuinely thought that Darnold and Robbie Anderson would have a great connection in Carolina, given the fact that they played in New York together. I drafted him in fantasy leagues. Obviously, he's on the bench or he's dropped. But yeah, DJ Moore has been that guy in Carolina. DJ Moore's doing a great job. But yeah, the Panthers just aren't it, and people thought they were. I thought they were. But yeah, man, I like the Falcons here. But let's go ahead and move on. We have the Dolphins, who are struggling right now, going into Buffalo. It's not going to get any better. Taking on the Bills. The Bills are -760 on the money line, -13.5 on the spread, and the over/under is set at 49.5. How do you feel?
So obviously everyone knows what happened with the Bills Dolphins last time. 35-0 Bills. And that's the game that Tua went down with an injury, right? So I don't think it's going to be as big of a blowout this time. I actually think it might be closer than one would think. Tua 75% on completions the last 2 games back. I'll even give a score prediction here. I like throwing a couple of those out every now and again. I'm going to go 33-21 Bills on this one. Really hoping they utilize Gesicki. He's been doing really well for me in fantasy as well. I actually spotted Myles Gaskin on the waivers in a couple of leagues, but that being said, the Bills defense is really good. So I think they're going to kind of limit Miami's opportunities to score, but I think it's going to be a little bit closer than people think. I don't think that the Dolphins are going to let that, a shutout happen again. 33-21 Bills over the Dolphins.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you're not taking the Bills, then you're on something, and I want to be what you're on. Yeah, I want to be what you're on. I have a very strong lean here. It's not going to be a best bet, but -13.5, I do like a lot for the Bills. Almost a best bet for me. I do think that the Bills win by 2 touchdowns. I'm not going to put it as best bet, but I do think it's very likely. I do like that as a very strong lean. The Bills are dominating this division, and they will for some time. The Dolphins, I thought they'd be a pretty decent team this year. Turns out they're pretty bad. I just don't think they get anything going. Obviously, Tua is a big upgrade from Jacoby Brissett. But a lot of rumors, man, about Deshaun Watson heading into Miami.
A lot of rumors that he's heading to Carolina as well.
Yeah, man. I guess we won't know until said trade happens.
Well, the trade deadline is like next week, isn't it?
Yeah, so we should be seeing something pretty soon here.
We'll see.
But yeah, man, Bills minus 13.5. I absolutely love that. I'm not so sure about the over-under. I guess I would lean over 49.5. I'm sure the Dolphins will put up at 7-14, but the Bills would do most of the legwork on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like Bills minus 13.5 here. Let's go ahead and move on. We have the Bengals, the best team in the AFC North. What? The Bengals? The Bengals are heading into New York to take on the New York Jets. The Jets are plus 360 on the money line, plus 10.5 on the spread at home, and the over-under set at 42.5. Zach Wilson is out with a knee injury. He'll be out for 2 or 3 weeks. The Jets have traded for Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is back in New York. How do you feel about this game between the Bengals and the Jets?
Well, I will tell you that I was unaware of this Joe Flacco trade, but that doesn't mean that anything, that's going to change my mind anywhere. I wouldn't bet the Jets against any team this year unless maybe they were playing the Texans, and even then I might lean the Texans. Mm-hmm. So, dude, I'm loving the Bengals right now. Loving Joe Burrow, loving Jamar Chase, still love Joe Mixon. I'll take Bengals minus 10.5 over the Jets. I'm also putting it as a best bet right in stone. Notarize it, whatever you want to do. Bengals at Jets minus 10.5. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. And let me look at Nico's best bets here because I know, So Nico does have a best bet as well. Bengals minus 10.5. I also have Bengals minus 10.5 as a best bet. So we're gonna have to put that in the parlay.
Real talk sports, baby.
Yes, sir. Bengals minus 10.5. I actually got Bengals minus 9.5. On earlier, like yesterday. It's since moved. I still like it at minus 10.5. I obviously like it more at minus 9.5. But the Bengals are going to obliterate the Jets. Patriots made that pretty easy for me. So yeah, I do like that.
Well, the Bengals made it pretty easy for me after what they did to the Ravens last week. So
yeah, exactly. No, you're completely right about that. Joe Burrow. And did you see Joe Burrow said that playing in an SEC stadium in college helped prepare him for the NFL because SEC stadiums are much louder than NFL stadiums.
And I 100% agree with that. Not to mention, most SEC stadiums are bigger than most NFL stadiums. I know Auburn, where I went, proud alumni, holds 87,000 and a half, whatever it is, which is like 20,000 more than the Buccaneers Stadium, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken. I completely agree with that. I also think college football is a whole nother level of craziness, but that's a whole nother conversation to have. But I completely agree. SEC dominates the NFL in the noise factor.
Yeah, I mean, where I went, Mississippi State, you got stadium full of crazy people, and you got cowbells ringing all game.
You got college kids tailgating. That's all you need to say.
Yeah, all you need to say is
after tailgating for hours, it's game over.
Yeah, man. The Bengals are looking good though. I really like Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase is looking phenomenal, like you said earlier. But yeah, it's not going to be much of a contest here. Let's go ahead and move on. We have the Titans going into Indianapolis to take on Carson Wentz, his 2 hurt ankles, and the Colts. The Colts are minus 120 on the money line, minus 1.5 favorites on the spread, and the over-under set at 51. My question here is, how do the Titans beat the Bills? They obliterate the Chiefs, and then they are not favorites against the Colts. How do you feel about this game?
I think it's a momentum thing. I think that the Colts have some good momentum right now. They're kind of showing their strength. They had a good last couple of games, but it's ridiculous, dude. There's absolutely nothing on this planet that should sway anyone to choose the Colts over the Titans in a sports book. Titans -1, dude. That's easily a best bet for me. Titans +1 over the Colts, or 1.5, whatever it is, dude. The Titans look so dominant. Derrick Henry, ridiculous. AJ Brown had a great week for me in fantasy. Now that being said, I like the Colts, and I like that they're kind of on the rise, if you will. I like what Carson Wentz is doing over there, but dude, they're not going to beat the Titans.
Yeah. With how the Titans have played this week or past 2 weeks, yeah, they're not beating the Titans. I also have Titans plus 1.5 as the best bet for me. I would be down to put that in the parlay because Titans plus 1.5 is my absolute best bet this week. I absolutely love it. I texted my buddy earlier this week when I was looking at the lines, who's diehard Titans fan, biggest fan I know. Shout out Caleb. He's been on the podcast before. But yeah, man, it's a lock. I absolutely love that. So I would like it on the parlay. You're down to put that on the parlay, right?
Yeah, absolutely, 100% easily.
All right, I'll go ahead and write that down. Titans plus 1.5. Yeah, I absolutely love that there. Nico doesn't have a best bet for that game. Before we move on, I did miss a best bet for Nico. So we had a teaser. And so, well, first off, Nico does actually have a best bet on this game, and that is the second leg of his teaser. The first leg was Bears plus 10. The second leg is Colts plus 7. So he doesn't expect the Colts to lose by a touchdown or more. I think the Titans win this game, man. I don't blame Nico's bet here, plus 7. I think it's a pretty decent bet. It could be a close game, probably will be, but the Titans are going to win this game, absolutely. His other best bet was a teaser that I forgot to mention, and he has a 2-unit bet on this game, meaning that he is putting quite some money on this game or on this teaser. He has Bengals -4 against the Jets, which is that's going to happen. And then he has a Cardinals pick 'em, which means he's picking the Cardinals to win. That's pretty likely to happen too. So let me repeat that. He has a 2-unit teaser best bet, Bengals -4, Cardinals pick 'em. Sorry I missed that, Nico. Sorry I missed that, guys. But yeah, so Nico's best bet here on this Titans Colts game is a second part of his teaser, which is Bears plus 10, Colts plus 7. Let's go ahead and move on. We have the Patriots heading into LA to take on Herbert and the Chargers. The Chargers are -225 on the money line, -5 on the spread, and the over-under set at 49. How are you feeling about this game? Because the Patriots are coming off quite the game, and they got some momentum. How do you feel about them on the road?
This is one of those games. I have a toss-up like every week. This is one of those toss-ups. The Chargers are coming off a bye week, but then the week they lost by 30 to the Ravens, right? The Patriots, however, they have they've lost by 1 score. They have 1-score losses against Tampa Bay and Dallas. They just beat the Jets by 30. So they're coming up. They're playing really well right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they covered the spread or even pulled off the upset over the Chargers. It's still a toss-up to me. It's in LA. It's hard to bet against Herbert and Eckler, but what are your thoughts? Give me your thoughts, and I'll make a decision based on maybe some input that you have, because I want the Patriots to win.
Yeah, you're rooting for the Patriots.
I think they've proven that they can win. Like I said, losses against Tampa Bay and Dallas, 30 points last week against the Jets. What are your thoughts, buddy?
Well, Trevor, I don't have a best bet here. I am definitely going to be leaning with the Chargers on this one. I think the home game makes all the difference. You can't beat Justin Herbert. I don't think the Patriots can beat Justin Herbert in that matter. Nico does have a best bet here, and that is going to be Patriots plus 5.5. It's moved down to 5, so I'm going to give him that plus 5. He'll probably buy the extra point. He likes to do that. But yeah, best bet for Nico is Patriots plus 5.5. I don't have a best bet, man. But yeah, I think the Chargers win by a touchdown. So I do like the Chargers -5.5. I like them at home. I just think the Chargers are a much better team. I know Bill Belichick is on that coaching staff. He's obviously the best coach in the league. Obliterated the Jets, but that doesn't say too much, Chargers are just too good for me to take the Patriots here.
Yeah, I have them circled, but I was just thinking back. I was like, the Patriots, they've been doing really well the last couple of weeks. They haven't gotten really blown out by anyone. But you're right. I mean, dude, you can't bet against Herbert right now. I mean, they're solid. Eckler too is amazing.
Yeah, man. And you're right about that. Eckler has been utilized great in the passing game too. He's doing great for fantasy, putting up numbers. I like the Chargers here. I'm sure Nico is leaning Chargers as well. But he does have Patriots plus 5.5 as a best bet. That is his last best bet of the week. Moving on, we have the Jaguars heading to Seattle, take on Geno Smith and the Seahawks. Seahawks are -165 on the money line, -3 on the spread, and the over/under is set at 43.5. How you feeling?
Well, I'll say this. I think it's embarrassing that the Seahawks are only -3 against the infamous Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, they don't have Russ.
I know that, but I think I'm not saying that it's bad for the, right now, but if you're favored by 3 points of the Jacksonville Jaguars, that's kind of sorry. But I don't see much momentum happening for the Seahawks. Geno Smith coming in there, Tyler Lockett. He's not utilizing Tyler Lockett either. You got Chris Carson out. You got Russell Wilson out. That doesn't mean they're going to lose to the Jaguars. I have the Seahawks in this, especially because it's in Seattle. I don't think the Jaguars can handle the 12th man. So I mean, I don't have too much to say about it. The Seahawks are going to win this game.
Yeah, man, the Jaguars can't handle the Seahawks. You're right about that. Not a best bet for me, but I would definitely lean Seahawks -3 here. Geno Smith's not really doing that great. DK Metcalf had one catch last game. It was an 84-yard touchdown. Only reason why he put up 15 plus points on fantasy, which is good for me, but nevertheless, the Saints are a much better defense than the Jaguars. Marshawn Lattimore and DK were going at it. But the Jaguars, you're not stopping the Seahawks. I don't care who your quarterback is. I don't care if it's Russ. I don't care if it's Geno Smith. Seahawks are going to win.
The Easter Bunny. The Jaguars are not beating the Seattle Seahawks.
I don't care if it's I don't care if it's the Easter Bunny. Man, Jaguars are not beating the Seahawks. Seahawks -3. It's a solid lean for me, but it's not going to be a best bet here. And Nico, he's out of best bets. It's a very good bet. Seahawks -3. Not a best bet for me though. I just can't get behind Geno Smith, man. And if Russ was if Russ was here, it'd probably be -6.5.
Maybe more.
Maybe 7. But let's go ahead and move on. We have the Washington football team heading into Denver, Mile High City, to take on the Broncos. The Broncos are -170 at home. The spread is set at -3, and the over/under is 44. This is actually a tough game for me to call. I'm still up in the air about it, but help me lean to the side I need to be leaning towards.
Well, it's in Denver. Rumor has it that Jerry Jeudy might make a return. I looked at the injury report today. Wasn't too sure yet. Not that would make the biggest difference, but it would make a difference. I still like the Broncos. I still think they have a lot of potential. I think Teddy Bridgewater has a lot of potential. I'm hoping that the Broncos can win this game, but then again, Heineke can surprise you. You never know what's going to happen with that guy. I'm taking the Broncos here. Not a best bet for me. I'd stay away from it. Tough game to call, but let's see the Broncos pull this one out. Yeah,
man. I'm leaning Broncos here as well. But yeah, you're right. Heineke can surprise a lot of people. He does it a lot, and then he kind of folds under pressure sometimes. It's just kind of the kind of quarterback he is. Someone in the chat had Seahawks and then like the handshake emoji, Easter Bunny. So they're listening to you. That's funny. I don't have a best bet here at all. I'm just going to say that I'm leaning towards the Broncos in this game, just given the home field advantage. The over/under, I'm probably going to go under 44. I know that the Washington's defense hasn't been what we thought they would, but I don't know if Denver really gets much going either. Teddy Bridgewater hasn't been doing that great. And my question to you is, after 7 weeks, should Teddy Bridgewater continue being the starter, or should they put Drew Lock in?
No, I don't think they should put Drew Lock in. Now, that being said, you never know what what the battle's like in practice. You don't know. We haven't seen Drew Lock this year that much at all. It might be something they should test it out against a weaker opponent or something like that, or maybe put him in for a couple of possessions, see what he can do. But I still think Teddy Bridgewater has the gas in him. I think he can have, he can surprise you as well. So I say him in there for now. Maybe throw in Drew Lock for a couple of possessions here and there and see how he does, and make that decision when that time comes.
Yeah, man, and that's well said. I think they should have put Drew Lock in the Thursday night matchup against the Browns, honestly, just for maybe a couple possessions and see if they could have, changed the momentum of that game. But let's go ahead and move on. We have the Buccaneers taking on the Saints. The Saints will be the home team here. The Saints are plus 205 on the money line at home, plus 6 on the spread, and the over/under is set at 50. Trevor, I obviously know what way you're leaning. You obviously know what way I'm leaning. There's no bias here at Real Talk Sports, man. We try to be unbiased as possible, but come on, Trev. Come on, bro. Come on,
Jace.
Bro.
Are you serious right now? Listen, there is no bias No bias needed.
No bias needed.
Champions. It's Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. All right. We have injuries galore. We're blowing out teams left and right. Tom Brady's going to win MVP. He's leading the league in passing yards. He's leading the league in passing touchdowns. He's a motherfucking OG. Okay. Tom Brady's going to come in here. They're playing Jameis Winston. This is the first time that Jameis Winston is going to be starting against the Bucs, if I'm not mistaken. Last year it was Breeze. I think Breeze took it at least one of the games last year. But dude, Jameis, this little W dance, that ain't gonna face shit. Yeah. Brady. Tom Brady's gonna eat him alive. Obviously they're not playing on opposite sides, but the Bucs defense is gonna eat Jameis alive. I think Jameis is gonna get sacked 5 times. JPP is gonna have a sack. Vita Vea is gonna have a sack. Devin White's gonna come in there and have a sack up the gap. Dude, it's you know what I'm gonna say. There's nothing much to say except I wish your viewers can see my freaking hat.
Well, if you're watching on YouTube, you can.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. Go Bucs to the day I die. Season ticket holder. Wish the game was here. Everyone keeps asking me what I'm doing on Halloween night. What are you doing on Halloween night? You dressing up? You going trick-or-treating? Absolutely not. I'm going to sit my happy ass in a recliner, pound about 10 or 12 beers. Buccaneers beat the Saints at 425.
Yeah, man. And the Bucs were -4.5 favorites earlier this week. Now they're at -6. Yeah, and I like what you said about Brady.
Best bet for me, by the way. Best bet for me.
I'll go ahead and write that down.
Best bet alert. BBA.
So I like Brady being MVP this year. If the Cardinals fall off a little bit, fall off the tracks, I like Brady as the MVP, man. He's doing phenomenal. He's doing better than his MVP season. I know he's had a couple of them, but it was back in 2007, 2002, 2007.
He's going to play until the year 2052. He's going to play the Super Bowl on the moon in space against freaking
Nico and I were talking earlier.
Probably his own son.
Nico and I were talking earlier today, actually, and Nico is willing to bet me that the Bills will beat the Bucs later on this season. I told him, look, we are not healthy right now, and we are blowing teams out of the water. We are the best team in the NFL. No bias. I've been saying that the Cardinals are the best team in the league. After last week, after seeing what an unhealthy defense we had, how good they played, it's all coming to fruition, man. And that's how the Bucs play. Later in the season, in the playoffs, no one is beating the Buccaneers. The Bills aren't going to beat the Buccaneers. The Cardinals wouldn't beat the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers -6. It's not going to be a best bet for me because I have so many here this week.
It's a best bet for me. Put it down in stone. I don't care.
The Bucs are going to get after Jameis, especially because in that playoff game, Jameis threw like a 50-yard touchdown in his one play against the Bucs. We're going to get all over him, dude. I don't care what you say.
Lattimore won't do a damn thing
against Mike Evans too. They hate each other. Perfect. And Jameis,
perfect.
I'm sure Jameis will have some success. I'm sure he will. He'll have some balls downfield that will get past the secondary. That's fine. The Bucs are not going to stop scoring in this game. So yeah, the Bucs are winning this game. You take the over 2. Any Bucs game, you're taking the over. I know it didn't hit last week, but this week, take it.
That was the Bears' fault. That was the Bears' fault.
Yeah, for sucking. But let's go ahead and move on. We have the Cowboys going into Minnesota to take on Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins, and the Vikings. The Vikings are +115 at home, -2.5 on the spread, or +2.5 on the spread, excuse me. And the over-under is set at 55.5. I have a best bet here, but I'm curious to see how you feel about this game.
Oh, man, 2 great teams. Sunday Night Football, primetime, 8:20 p.m. Eastern time in Minnesota. But, I mean, dude, it's – right now, I mean, I got Kirk Cousins as well. I picked him up. I have a couple injured quarterbacks. One, Russell Wilson, and the waiver wires, kind of shaky when it comes to quarterbacks right now. In my leagues are not that deep or are pretty deep. So, but right now, dude, the Cowboys are on a freaking roll.
Yeah, they are.
Boys, you told me to take the hat off last week. I'm putting it back on this.
I don't like the Cowboys hat,
I don't care. I'm putting it back on this week. Dak Prescott. Now, I did see a questionable next to Dak Prescott's name. I haven't looked too much into detail as to what that's.
He's fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, if he plays, he's healthy. He's good to go.
Comeback player of the year.
Dude, imagine when they get Michael Gallup back. Imagine what that offense is going to look like. I can't wait to see it because they're on a roll this year. Trayvon Diggs. Can we talk about him for a sec? Defensive player of the year, and it's not even close.
Yep.
Raw. He's just
He's looking really good, bro. Yeah, Trayvon Diggs is a beast out there. He is pick after pick after pick. The dude is looking good, and that's why I do have as a best bet Cowboys -2.5. The Cowboys are going to win by more than a field goal, so that's why I do like the Cowboys here. I don't care if they're playing the Vikings away. Like Dalvin Cook, he can run all over him. I still don't care, dude. Trayvon Diggs is going to force a turnover. Dak Prescott is going to get the ball moving. And like you said about Michael Gallup, wait until he comes back. I have him stashed in one of my fantasy leagues.
I do too.
And man, the Cowboys, it's crazy.
Put on the hat,
Cowboys are one of the best teams.
I'll come bring it to your house.
I will not be putting on a Cowboys hat, but I do like the Cowboys here -2.5 as my last best bet of the week. Man, I would be down to put this on the parlay. How do you feel about that? -2.5?
I mean, I'm content with that. I'll do that.
And we have a Bengals fan that I know in the live right now. So just so that she can see what we have on the Real Talk Sports Parlay, we got Bengals -10.5 on the Real Talk Sports Parlay of the week. I know you're down for that. I know you like that. Let's go ahead and move on to our Monday Night Football matchup. We have the Giants going into Kansas City to take on the Chiefs, who need a much-needed win. The Chiefs are -425 on the money line, -9.5 on the spread, and the over-under set at 52. The Chiefs have not been good against the spread this year. They also just haven't been that great in general. How do you feel about them facing a weaker Giants team?
Dude, really disappointed in what they're doing right now. This year, I don't know how it's possible coming off a Super Bowl. Like your buddy said, I think Tom Brady just broke them down. I don't think they'll ever be the same again. I think Patrick Mahomes is done. He's washed. It's game over for him. 100% kidding. Now, what I will say is they're going to have another bounce back game, just like they did against Washington the other week. It's not a best bet for me. The Chiefs are going to beat the Giants. Giants had a great game against the Panthers last week, but Chiefs -9.5 for the Giants. I'll take that. Won't set it in stone, but I like the Chiefs for a bounce back game. I think it's going to be like back and forth this year. I think they're just going to have, kind of alternate with good games and bad games. I think they're going to have, another good game this week, and then, we'll see who their opponents are in the coming weeks after that. But
man, they'll probably sneak into the playoffs this year. Let's say this I'll say this. I'm going to lean Giants +9.5 based on the fact that the Chiefs have been so bad against the spread, really since the Super Bowl and all season this year. The Chiefs are going to win this game. Absolutely. Chiefs are winning this game. And Jabril Peppers, he's out for the season now. Not that matters. The Chiefs would still win. The Chiefs are winning this game, but I am going to lean Giants +9.5, given the fact that the Chiefs have been poor against the spread this season. The over-under, I'd probably lean under, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Not a best bet for me there. But yeah, man, if you guys are on the Instagram Live, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm about to stop that right there. So I will see you guys later. But yeah, man, I absolutely love my bets this week. I think they're solid. Nico has a lot of them. You got quite a bit as well. Let's go ahead and recap our best bets. So Trevor, you can go ahead first.
So I have 5 this week. I'm not going any point totals or anything like that. Just straight up games and spread lines here. So
that's fine.
I got Bengals -10.5 at the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I got Steelers +3.5 at the Browns. Actually, I only have 4. I wrote that one down twice. I guess I'm very enthused about it. I got Titans +1 at the Colts. Take it to the bank. Take it to UPS. Whoever's got a notary stamp. Love that for it. Let's go Titans -1 against the Colts, or +1 at the Colts. And then got to go with it. Bucks at Saints -5.5. Set that in stone. So I got 4 this week. I'd love to throw in more, but that hurt me a little bit more than it helped me last week. So I'm going to keep it at 4 bets this week, and I think they're 4 pretty solid ones.
Yeah, man, that's fine. You don't have to, bet every single game. Obviously, that's not the smartest thing.
No.
Yeah, man. I mean, you pick your weeks, man, and that's all about the race to the 6-packs. I'll go ahead and give you Nico's best bets here. Nico has Lions plus 3.5. Lions will be facing the Eagles. Nico likes plus 3.5 there as a best bet. Bengals minus 10.5 against the Jets. Excuse me. Steelers plus 3.5 against the Browns. Patriots plus 5.5 against the Chargers. Cardinals minus 6 against the Packers on Thursday Night Football. And he has 2 teasers here. I'll start with this one. Bengals minus 4 and Cardinals pick 'em. And he has 2 units on that. So that is his absolute best bet this week. He absolutely loves that teaser. And then his last teaser and his last best bet is Bears plus 10 and Colts plus 7. We'll go into mine now. My best bets for the week, I have Cardinals minus 6.5. Packers don't have Devontae Adams. They don't have Allen Lazard. I think that hurts their offense. Falcons minus 3. Bengals minus 10.5. Titans plus 1.5. That is my absolute best bet this week. And then I have a same game teaser. Buccaneers plus 0.5 against the Saints, and the over 44, teasing that down, a 6-point teaser. And then Cowboys minus 2.5 against the Vikings. Now let's go ahead and recap the Real Talk Sports Week 8 parlay. The Week 8 parlay entails Bengals minus 10.5, Titans plus 1.5, and Cowboys minus 2.5. I feel good about it, man. I feel good about it every week. But we're due, man. We hit week 4. We're going to hit week 8.
I love it. I think that could be a pretty solid one. I'd love to throw the Cowboys in my best bets, but you got a good Vikings team. You got Jefferson against Trayvon Diggs. That's going to be a hell of a matchup to watch, but we'll see what happens. I like my best bets. I like y'all's. We'll see who comes out on top this week.
Yeah, man. And you're right about that. Justin Jefferson, Trayvon Diggs will be an interesting matchup to watch. Trevor, as always, great to connect with you on once a week and talk some football. Y'all tune in on Monday. I will be talking the NFL Power Rankings with a guest. He has not been on the podcast yet, but that it will be coming out on Monday. I'm excited to share it with you guys. Monday or Tuesday, we'll see. But y'all be sure to tune in for that. Trevor, thanks again for being on the podcast, and we will see you next week.
Always a pleasure, buddy. Always a fun
All right,
time.
buddy. Yeah, man. I'll see you.
Yep.